Continuing coverage now on a case involving a man accused of killing his one-year-old daughter. Closing arguments were held today in that trial, and now the case is in the hands of the jury. News Channel 3's Gavin Nguyen is live in Indio at the Larson Justice Center, where that trial continued today, and he has the very latest on this case. Gavin.
Thanks, John. You're right. Closing arguments wrapped up just before 4 o'clock today. Jurors will now take the information they recapped earlier today and use that to reach a verdict. But for both the prosecution and defense who finalized their arguments to the jury, it all came down to control.
Every decision he made was a horrific nightmare of a decision, but it was a decision he made. He was completely under control, as can be evidenced by every decision he made.
The prosecution arguing that Adam Slater was in control when he made decision after decision that ultimately led to him killing his daughter. Attorneys brought up several instances where Slater seemed to follow through with threats he made to his wife several weeks before the incident.
Weeks before, he says, "I'm going to kill you, Madeline and Genesis, if you don't get back together with me."
The prosecution reiterated the timeline of events to jurors, which included the attempted murder of his pregnant wife in a church parking lot, then his escape in which he stabbed his one-year-old daughter, whom he then threw off of a cliff. But Slater's defense responding to the prosecution's argument, saying the decisions he made that day should not be used to come to the conclusion that he was in control of his actions.
So I think we need to stay away from those kind of analyses that try to create stuff. There's certainly a spin can be put on anything, but this is a slippery slope we don't want to do that on.
They maintain that the actions he made simply could not have been planned.
I really believe Mr. Slater was out of control. Everybody has their breaking point, and here we are with all this tragedy. Who in their right mind plans it? From the beginning of this thing, Adam had nowhere to go.
And we'll be sure to bring you the latest on this case, including what the verdict is that the jury reaches. Make sure you stay with us here on KESQ. For now, I'm Gavin Nguyen reporting live in Indio for News Channel 3. Back to you.
Now, First Alert Weather with meteorologist Spencer Blum.
It is an absolutely fantastic day here in the Coachella Valley. So let's go ahead and take a look at our weather pattern. Obviously today it's much warmer outside, largely thanks to this area of high pressure. Also the lack of winds compared to the last few days. But as we move this in time, we can see that ridge of high pressure moves off toward the east, and in its wake we have this area of low pressure moving in. Now this trough is going to bring an atmospheric river into California with it. Now is this the strongest or wettest atmospheric river in history? No, it is not. But it's still going to bring us likely some rain, especially for areas west of the mountains and likely for us here on the valley floor as well. But as we look ahead toward Thursday, we can see this system really dominates over the west coast, giving us that cooler and cloudier conditions, but also the chance for showers throughout the day on Thursday. Another important thing to note, a winter storm warning is now in place for our local mountains, mainly above 4,000 to 4,500 feet, as those areas are going to be seeing a few inches of snow and some strong winds, upwards of 60 miles an hour. That goes into effect tomorrow, Wednesday at 7 p.m. But let's take a look at the future track. Overall, at the absolute latest, about 1 o'clock on Wednesday, we're going to be noticing a lot of that wet weather moving into Southern California, but that's likely going to begin earlier in the day as well, likely closer to the late morning. But as we get closer toward the evening, around 8 o'clock, we're going to already be seeing some of those showers here on the valley floor, potentially. You can see a lot of that green making its way very close to, if not over, the mountains. Also, by 8 o'clock tomorrow, we will be under a first alert weather alert. Now, the chances for rain do continue throughout the day on Thursday, and as we look toward the latter half of the day, there's a little bit of another push of moisture that does move in to Southern California. So that's something that we're going to be keeping an eye on. And again, we're going to be under that first alert weather alert for Wednesday afternoon and Wednesday evening and all day Thursday. Now here's a look at the first alert Comfort Air 7-day forecast. Like I said, those first alert weather alerts in place starting tomorrow afternoon through Thursday evening. On top of the chances for showers, we are looking at some breezy to gusty conditions on Thursday as well. But the good news is by the time we get toward Friday, skies will start to clear. We're going to start to warm up very nicely into the weekend. And hey, we get an extra hour of daytime starting on Sunday. You're watching News Channel 3, the Desert's news leader.
The Palm Springs Police Department is teaming up with the Riverside University Health System to address the mental health crisis here in the desert. And it's expanding an initiative known as the Community Behavioral Assessment Team. News Channel 3's Tori King live right now with more on this. Tori.
Hi there, John. Yes, the officer that I spoke with is very excited about this new team being made. He says he's already seen progress so far, and it's only been about a week and a half. So this is not a new program. In fact, several other cities around the county actually have CBAT teams already. The program's proven success caught the attention of the Palm Springs Police Department, who decided having a team of their own would be worth this investment.
We have behavioral health clinical therapists that are partnered with law enforcement officers, and they provide a compassionate, person-centered approach to crisis.
The Palm Springs Police Department is officially creating a community behavioral assessment team. Although it's new to the PSPD, it's not new to Riverside County. In fact, several cities, including Indio, Palm Desert, and Thermal, all have what's known as CBAT teams that assist law enforcement with mental health crisis calls.
Our CBAT team will go ahead and go to the scene along with law enforcement, and then once the scene is safe, then they'll both engage and make sure that they provide that immediate ongoing support and service to the person who's in crisis.
Their success rate around the valley inspired the department to adopt the initiative for itself.
That's why we got involved. We have several calls where they just take more time, empathy, care, and again, outside the box creative thinking.
Joshua Crocker was chosen to be the police officer assigned to the PSPD's CBAT program. He says this initiative is already creating better training and outcomes for individuals experiencing mental health emergencies.
I get to spend time with people, listen to their stories, help them feel and stay in control, and then partner with them in that because when they feel in control, they make better choices.
And data from last year shows the program is successful in preventing hospitalization and incarceration by giving the individual resources to help de-escalate their crisis in the present and connect with helpful professionals in the future.
Over 8,000 calls that our teams responded to last fiscal year. Over 50% of the time, they were able to help someone stay safe in the community.
We try and use as much time to develop the best, safest plan so that everyone, including them, go home at the end of the day.
For more information on this program and its success rate, we do have that data on our website, KESQ.com. Live in studio, Tori King, News Channel 3.
Thank you, Tori. That is tonight's News Channel 3 live at 5. Stay tuned for your network news, followed by tonight's presidential address with live coverage on all of our News Channel 3 stations. We are back tonight with complete coverage on all of it at 10 and 11. Have a great night.